Drinking this album, listen to the booze. I think it would pair well, if only for you, 'cause it's album reviews. It's album reviews.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Album Reviews, the stickiest music podcast. We're sitting here at the Alpha Kappa Delta summer shindig, and I wanted to tell you guys, like, I don't know if you know this about me, but I actually play a little bit of guitar. My dad was, like, in a cover band in the 90s. It was, like, whatever, like, just a bunch of old shit. But he gave me his guitar, and anyway, here's Wonderwall. My name is Sarah.
Well, thank you so much, my co-host Sarah. And thank you for tuning in today. We're here to answer some questions, folks. What is the story? What is so wonderful about this wall? And where were you while we were getting high? All this and more on today's episode of Album Reviews. My name is Zach.
Zach, you're a genius!
Where were you?
Oh my god. TMZ.
Wow.
Patrick Sullivan from Modern Dairy.
From Manchester.
Chicago, Illinois. This episode's going to be fucking mega. We're doing Oasis. What's the story? Morning Glory. I play drums for Modern Dairy. Let's go.
Oh my god. All right. Well, some might say that I'm happy to be here. It's good to be back. I'm Geoff from Modern Dairy, and we're here to talk about What's the Story? Morning Glory by Oasis.
Let's go, Morning Glories.
Hell yeah.
We're very excited to have you here.
Good to be here.
On my couch.
Good to be back.
Manchester is my favorite Chicago neighborhood, so glad
course.
to have you repping.
Is that where Big Ben is?
Came across the pond.
Thank you for coming.
Long flight. My arms are exhausted.
Nice.
Anyway, thank you, Geoff and Pat, for being here. You are, as we all know from reading the title of this episode, wherever you get your podcasts, from the band Modern Dairy. But for those who aren't familiar, will you tell us a little bit about the band, what you got going on?
Yeah. We're a 4-piece upbeat indie rock music to dance to. We've been playing around Chicago for 3 years now.
I thought you guys were an older band for some reason.
Well, we are like, Pat and I started playing like before 2020, but then we kind of like I think we released our first music in 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
But we were talking about recording in a studio like the week of the shutdown.
Cool.
But yeah, so I don't know. That's that. We practice around over in Humboldt. We put out 3 EPs, and we're working on our debut album right now. So yeah.
Hell yeah. And folks can maybe hear that album, allegedly?
Yes.
At a release show, possibly?
Yes. So our first album, we're 2/3 of the way done, probably. And we're releasing it in December, and we're playing a album release show Thursday, December 19th at Chuba's, probably like my favorite venue to go to and to play, and where we met.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shivs in the night.
That was such a good, that was probably like my first show at Shuba's since like the pandemic. So I was like so magical to be back, and like it was one of those where I felt like everyone was there. Like it was like everyone knew that like Elizabeth Moen, the show that we were at together, like that was going to be a big one.
And it was such a good show, right? Like Grelly Duvall was hosting, right? The drag artist.
Yeah.
And then Elizabeth also did Bruce Springsteen drag at the end.
Yeah.
Like
Trashy Bruce
just
Springsteen.
so iconic. If you know nothing else about Elizabeth Moen, know that she loves Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. She has a Halloween Bruce Springsteen show coming up, I think.
I would be so not surprised.
Yeah.
So many good Halloween shows in Chicago this year. More on that later.
Well, wait, we have a Halloween show.
More on that now.
Should we do this now?
Go for it.
Cool. October 31st, Modern Dairy is playing as Black Sabbath, mostly Black Sabbath, possibly an Oasis cover or 3, at Beat Kitchen and it's the Damager album release show. So their
you gotta be
debut,
there.
Calico Loco as well.
Calico Loco is Green Day. So yeah,
So huge.
assumably everyone listening will be there though. 'Cause
Calico
how could you
Loco-
miss that?
Yeah.
Also one of my favorite Halloween shows when they did Black Parade.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that
man.
was crazy.
Was that at the
Golden
Golden Dagger?
Rest
Yeah,
in
we
peace.
saw that.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
Yeah.
R.I.P.
And Pink Squeeze did
Spice Girls,
yes,
right?
yes, that was
And
so
then
good.
OK Cool as School of Rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the ages. And then Zach and I were there and we went to see Rocky Horror immediately afterward. It was
So I was in there
Whoa.
full riffraff get up.
you're in like a blonde wig.
Yeah.
Just creeping around.
Oh man. Yeah, that was also one that was like that was it was so crowded. Like,
Everyone
sold
was
out
there.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Calico Loco as My Chemical Romance was just crazy.
So
That's such a
genius.
hard, that sounds so hard.
Yeah. Oh my God. And that's who they talked about when they came on our show too.
Yeah.
So we were like,
that kind of gave us the idea for our Halloween live show.
honestly, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Danny, if you're listening. Illy. Well, enough about other bands. Let's talk about another band.
The band.
The band that you all have selected to talk about today. Will you tell the folks at home? We kind of alluded to it earlier, but what are we talking about today?
We're doing Oasis 1995's release of What's the Story, Morning Glory, second album by the Brit pop icons.
Yes, of course.
I will say so it took us probably like 3 months to schedule this interview.
Yeah.
And so they were not
They weren't back
announced
yet.
that they
No.
were back when we
Yeah,
started this.
no.
We had
And
this
so we're just
conversation
like,
in
"Whoa, this is
April."
crazy. Yeah.
God.
Which is kind of, I would say, like the
We're
theme
not
of our
capitalizing
Oasis.
on the hype, okay?
Yeah,
No, yeah.
that
You guys-
was what that statement
That's
was
not what
for.
this is about.
You guys wanted to do this before it was cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just ever so slightly
30
before.
years after, but 1 year before.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Pat, you got into Oasis like first, right?
Yeah, I mean, like,
For between the two of
when
us.
I was like, an adult. But no, I don't know, with them, I feel like back when you had like an iTunes library, I would have like Wonderwall and Champagne Supernova in there.
Yeah,
Yes,
from
of course.
LimeWire.
Yeah, but I really didn't get like super into them until like maybe like 18 months ago.
Wow.
And
Yeah. What do you
Like-
think spawned that? Just like randomly.
I don't know. I just love the Gallagher brothers. I love I think they're hilarious. I think their interviews are funny, and I don't know. That kind of just led me into their music, and then the whole I don't know. Their whole thing is just great. I loved. I watched Supersonic, the documentary. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Oh.
It's
I think
it's
that
amazing.
like spawned
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
the kind of like more recent hype.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then like similarly, Pat was like into Oasis, and I was like, oh, like what are you in? But like if you're in the band and you're like into that, like I should check it out. And then we were recording for our album, and I was like, had something. I was like singing like with my kind of in a Liam Gallagher pose, and then I was like, oh, you got the Liam Gallagher going, and I was like, what is that a reference to? Like I didn't really get it, and now I obviously really, it's pretty iconic.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
funny when we did Dan's podcast. He brought up how much he loved them. Dan and Tommy's.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Musicians Movie Club.
Yeah,
Famously.
Nice plug. But yeah, we were like, that's when I was like first starting to get into them, and that was like I don't know, November 2023, something like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, every once in a while we'll get a band on the pod who brings an album they like just found that they love, and it's like, wow, like
Yeah,
that's so cool.
It is.
but it's funny too because with this, like you're like everyone's familiar with some of the
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
you know?
Of
Uh-huh.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
30% of the songs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah, that's what's I think is kind of cool about it is like because like Wonderwall was like so big, so I kind of was like what is like, but if Pat and Dan, who's like music, I'm like, oh, you guys have good taste, like what's going on there, and so then I kind of have just been investigating it over the last 6 months.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. Sarah, what about your background with this band and this album?
What a wonderful question. Very minimal background from my POV. Famously, when I was driving my mom's old Honda Accord that did not have a working CD player and had a really shitty like aux cord, I just listened to the radio a lot. So I would listen to my hometown alternative rock sort of radio station, FM 102.1, Sounds Different. And they played Wonderwall and Champagne Supernova, I'd say every 20 minutes. So I know those two songs very,
In
very
20-minute
well.
intervals, yeah.
Yeah. Just in like 2014. So it's like me at 6:30 in the morning driving to my job at Party City to open a store on a Saturday listening to Wonderwall.
That's so funny.
That's sort of my background. I'm also, we don't have to get into this now. Maybe we could do this like after the game, but I'm not super familiar with the Gallagher brothers and their lore.
There's
I
a lot of lore.
remember when I know there was a breakup. I know there was a reunion. I remember the day the reunion happened because a lot of people in my circle were posting about it. But my like knowledge of the people behind Oasis is very minimal. What about you?
This is a fun story, and we can all laugh at me together. 13-year-old Zach. I've got like my parents' computer that doesn't let you do the phone and the computer at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm just downloading like the first 5 popular tabs on ultimateguitar.com.
Wait, you were downloading the tabs?
Yeah, because
What, to print them?
you couldn't be
That's
on the internet
awesome.
and the phone at the same time.
Yes, of course.
You need a hard copy. Sick.
And so I'm like teaching myself Wonderwall.
That's awesome.
Incredibly valid.
On a printed off Ultimate Guitar
Oh
tab.
my god, like MapQuest.
That is the act. Like that's the way. I feel like
Yes.
that Oasis. Like that's
Yeah,
right.
It's so early 2000s.
It's perfect.
Anyways, here's Wonderwall. So that's like the first thing I knew about the band was like they were just top 5 on Ultimate Guitar for tabs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then just the singles, and then here, which is I'm glad this is a great pick.
Yeah.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, of course. We just did another Britpop band, so I'm like, ooh, should we like?
Was it
Oh
Blur?
yeah, did you guys do Blur?
No, it was XTC.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
cool.
Not
Yeah.
released yet. Ow. As of recording. It's coming out this week.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, let's talk about the drink pairing real fast. And this has almost as much lore as the Gallagher brothers.
Well, no, this has like no, you're right. It does have lore.
I would say more.
It's both.
Yeah.
Both, yeah.
Okay. This is, I think, a true collaboration and an intersection of a lot of instances of fate. So, Geoff and Pat, you all came over today bearing a 6-pack of Stella Artois and a 6-pack of Gumblehead. And Zach, you came to my house bearing a bottle of champagne and some oranges.
Mhm.
You were thinking maybe like a mimosa vibe. All this to say, we hadn't quite nailed down a pairing for this episode. We had a lot of ideas, but nothing was super sticky. Cut to me.
It's sticky.
I'm sort of having like a crazy like I can only call it like cosmic like brain blast. I start cataloging in my mind through the ingredients that are in my fridge right now because to be honest, I wasn't quite satisfied with the pairing. We were like, we could just sort of cycle through stuff. We can see what's up. And I start spelling out in my mind, Oasis, it's only a 5-letter word. Could I make a cocktail with those ingredients and spell out the word Oasis? So what we have in front of us is the Oasis. It is probably going to be gross.
It doesn't look gross.
This is going to be the new Manhattan.
Thank you.
It's going to
Thank
be
you.
as common as the
For those who like a
Old-fashioned.
martini very dirty, this, if you want, like, I actually measured shit. So in each of these, we have a 1/2 ounce of orange juice. We have 1 ounce of American Pale Ale, the Gumball. We have sparkling wine. That was just kind of a splash. I is ice. And then the second S is another ounce of Stella Artois. This is the Oasis.
A champagne soup.
I'm ready to
And we
toast.
haven't tried it yet.
Toast.
Cheers, love.
It's not bad.
I like it.
It's not bad.
It's a drink. It's wet.
It tastes yeasty.
Yeah, there's something kind of sour about it.
Yeah, I don't mind it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I'll finish it.
Yeah. I like it.
I'll
It's
definitely
sweet.
finish it.
I want
It's
it to
a
have
little
like a
sweet.
Fanta in it.
It's like orange Gatorade.
It is.
It is like orange
It's-
Gatorade.
yeah.
Which I love orange Gatorade.
It's the vitamin C from the orange juice.
Yeah,
It's-
it's really punching above its weight.
Yeah.
Orange juice.
I'm not mad at it. I'm
I'm not mad about it.
Okay, great.
I recommend it. To anyone listening, I would say make one of those.
Try it before you
it
die.
for yourself.
Yeah.
Tommy, I know you're out there making little cocktails in your apartment all the time. Try an Oasis.
This is a direct request, Tom.
Tommy Kessler.
We're talking about so many people directly on this episode.
Yeah. We're gonna have to tag them all in it.
We're really like testing to see who listens based
Yeah,
on
right,
which
yeah.
DMs we get. Okay.
Great. Good drink, good intros.
Slay.
Yes.
We're doing amazing so far.
Well, before we get into this behemoth of a record, I have a not so behemoth of a game for us. So I was inspired by this game. I was inspired by Wonderwall actually for this game, and because I read that it is a little bit the name Wonderwall is a little bit inspired by a film score. Do you guys know about this?
Oh, no.
Tell me everything.
We'll get into it deep.
I thought it was from a George Harrison record.
Yes.
Okay. Was that a film score?
It provided a soundtrack for a
Okay.
movie called
Okay.
Wonderwall.
Okay.
The song's title was appropriated from the 1968 film Wonderwall from Psychedelic to Rhythm, which George Harrison provided the soundtrack for.
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah. And I thought that was super neat. I was like, wow, I had no idea that connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you guys are movie fans, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
We're movie fans. So I was like, oh, what other like cool songs are in movies? So I've got a game here called, I haven't named it yet. I was going to name it something witty.
Wonderwall.
I wonder what movie this is from. Where I'm going to play a super iconic song.
Okay.
That is iconic for being in this movie. You three were on a team to buzz in, point for the movie, point for the song.
Okay, and did you say we're all on a team or
You
we're
guys
playing?
yeah, you're on a team. We're racing the clock.
Cute. We're racing the
Oh,
clock.
Nice.
Okay.
We
I believe
buzz
in
in,
us.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good buzzer. It's working good. The battery's new.
Was there a bee in here? My God.
This is in historic Zach style going to go easier to harder.
Classic.
Yes, sir.
This is My Heart Will Go On
Yeah.
by Celine Dion.
Uh-huh.
And this was in Titanic.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't remember which
Bam.
scene. Do you remember which scene?
I haven't seen Titanic all the way through.
I
Is my
actually
vulnerable moment.
haven't seen
It's like a
Titanic.
4-hour movie.
I watched that for the first time this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it all the way
kinda good.
through. I've seen the first like 90 minutes, I think.
Oh. The
And-
end is like crazy.
Dude, no
I don't know.
spoilers.
Yeah.
No spoilers. But I heard things get a little
insane.
kooky.
Yeah.
How does the Titanic end?
Yeah, don't tell me. I don't know what
With-
happens,
it's
I
just
don't know what
that
happens to
song.
the boat yet.
And they all whatever deboard. They get off the boat.
They get off the boat at the port in Cabo, and then they all go to the all-inclusive resort.
All right, cool. Track number next.
Good work.
Thank you.
Buzz Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Don't you? God damn it!
Don't you forget about me.
Don't you?
Hilarious.
Don't you? Oh, I
Do you
forgot.
have an answer for that third question for that song? Like what it inspired?
No. They didn't inspire something. I was asking you guys to be like, oh, I would write a song.
For Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On,"
Uh-huh.
if I saw it in the movie Titanic, I would write a song called "There's Space for Two" on that board.
That's very good.
But it would have like Celine Dion
Yeah.
level of vocals.
For this danger zone, or oh shoot. Really? Forget I said that. Track number next.
Through the danger zone.
I don't know what movie this is in though.
You probably won't.
I honestly remember from Harold and Kumar too.
Point for that.
That's got to be valid.
It's a very funny scene.
If
Isn't
it's
it
on
in
the
Top
IMDb.
Gun?
Yes. I think
Okay.
that's
Okay.
kind of
I've
Top
never
Gun.
seen Top
Yeah.
Gun. I just have seen like the parodies of that.
course.
Yeah.
You guys
Well,
are good at this
genius
game.
poll, yeah. Zach, you've got 3 literally genius brains over here.
I think so.
The Harold and Kumar. That's amazing.
Check that movie out. It's underrated.
All right, here's probably my favorite on this game.
Stop.
Where's My Mind? The Pixies.
Uh-huh.
Fight Club.
Yeah,
Boom.
Wow.
Nice. Good job.
that was good.
Huge.
And this is when the buildings are falling down. Spoiler.
Yeah. That's like a really,
I
really
actually
good
haven't
use.
seen Fight Club.
That movie was really ruined for me, so I yeah. It is
Yeah.
good though. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time. But that scene is one of the coolest.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Way better in the book. It doesn't look like anything like that in the book.
Is there a
Oh,
fight?
yeah.
Are you making a joke?
No, I've never made a joke on this podcast.
Oh.
Oh no, sorry. I was like, wow, this sounds just like the girls' version.
Wait. I was-
Oh, wait, we were just talking about this.
This is Iggy Pop, right?
Yeah.
Lust for Life
Yeah.
from Trainspotting.
Yeah.
wow.
We were talking about. I watched Trainspotting like 2 weeks ago. We were just talking about it.
Yeah.
Because
I wouldn't have got the movie.
They asked Oasis to make a song for it.
Oh, no
shit.
way.
Yeah, and Pat, you want to explain it? Pat was explaining this to me.
Oh yeah, he said they asked him to make they came to him, to do a song for the film, and he was like, well, like he saw that the title was Train Spotting, and he was like, it was a movie about fucking watching trains. It's fucking boring. And he just didn't do it, and then he's like, went on to be one of the great British films.
Yeah, and it's so like I was watching it. It's so Oasis-y. Like they're obsessed with David Bowie and like all this. Like it's so Oasis.
Yeah, it would have been good for him.
But I'm interested. Like it was like train spotting. Like that's all the information he got. They were like, "You want to read the script?" Like it was like trains. Like
boring.
yeah, and like what's it about? And it's like trains, I guess. And they're like, "Oh, let's give it." Dude, just like crazy.
That's so crazy.
That song, that scene, like some of the best.
Yeah.
Huge.
100%. All right, here's 2 more. You guys are killing it.
Requiem for a Dream. Am I right?
Nope.
Fuck.
That's a good guess, though. That would have been a good guess. That would have been good on the list.
I thought it was
I don't know the song.
We both like dropped our jaws like,
yeah, no.
is this Summertime Sadness?
No,
this is Lana Del Rey.
You're
It's Lana Del
warm.
Rey.
Yeah.
Oh, Young and Beautiful.
Yeah.
Was in The Great Gatsby.
It's in The Great Gatsby.
Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I went to prom in 2014. Yeah, it was Gatsby themed.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
were the times.
Those were the times.
All right. You guys are killing it. I saved the hardest one for last.
That Gatsby soundtrack is so kick-ass,
It's
by
really
the way.
good, yeah. I don't know if you guys are going to get this one. It's really hard.
The song's by Sylvester Stallone. And the movie is Rocky.
Yeah. Somehow we've never
Eye
played.
of the Tiger. Yeah. I was like, the name of the song. Yeah.
Somehow I don't think we played that song on air yet, so I just had to throw
I
it.
actually
You're
can't. Is the
right.
artist called like? Are they Survivor or something? What's the artist?
Survivor.
That's a good.
Okay.
No, I
Wow.
couldn't tell you another Survivor song.
I could be.
Yeah.
Damn.
well,
Did we miss a single one?
No, you guys got them all
That was
so
good.
quick.
I mean, add it to the
Nice.
resume.
I was nervous, but we did good. We did
I
good.
wasn't, because I
The
believed
Gatsby
in
poll
you.
was impressive.
Yeah, that was good. I put that one on there for you.
Thank you. Thank you. You threw me some crumbs with Lana and Celine Dion.
Thank you guys for playing. I wonder what movie this song is from.
It was a good game.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zach.
Great game.
That was really fun. I love having fun on my podcast.
I like having fun. So Sarah, you said you wanted to tell us the whole entire Gallagher story, all the details and everything, because you're a studier of it.
Well, yeah, I thought I signed up for Oasis 101, and I like brought my iPad with the Notes app open. I have a stylus. I'm ready to take color-coded notes for every single year. JK. I do think it would be good for those people listening at home who, like myself, hey, I'm human too, don't know like the deets of the Gallagher brothers and the breakup and reunion of Oasis.
Yeah.
Let's hit it, divas.
Sure. I can start with like the broad strokes. Is that so? There's 2 brothers, Noel Gallagher and Liam Gallagher. Noel is older, and he wrote like all the music. He wrote all of the first couple albums. Liam like eventually started writing stuff, but basically Noel like made the whole band. And then Liam is the lead singer, and he's so cool that the two, like, it's kind of like a 50-50 split, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, Noel does so much work, but Liam's charisma and his vocals are like so good, in my opinion.
Do you have siblings?
I do, yeah.
Or where do you stand in the sibling hierarchy?
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a brother who's in our band.
We have,
Oh.
we have Irish
Very
brothers in our band.
Gallagher-esque.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
They don't fight ever.
Well, that's stunning. Because do you just have the one brother?
Yes, that's
Okay.
my only sibling. Yeah.
Are
yeah.
you older? Or
I'm
younger?
older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever see sibling dynamics like this? Like, I'm also the oldest of two, I guess. I have one younger sister. And it does feel very sibling dynamics to have the older one be like, not that I'm saying this is the case with your band, but like, yeah, I'm working and da-da-da-da, I'm getting this shit together. Blah, blah, blah. And the younger one is kind of like flouncing in. It's like, yeah, I kick ass.
Yeah.
It feels very...
opposite with us.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah.
No, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how I
slay.
feel about like like that's how me and my brother kind of are. Like,
Yeah.
he was like, my brother was like in a band, and I was like, it was kind of like Oasis, where I was like, Jack isn't a, like, I'm the one who does all the, so that, but that kind of like, honestly, because now I sing for Modern Dairy, that I was like, all right, if he can do it, I can do it. And like, honestly, that kind of, Noel kind of did the same thing, where he was like, not to compare myself to them, but he like, basically, so Oasis does Definitely Maybe, and it was like the biggest release, like the biggest first album in UK history, and then they go on tour and they get like really popular, and they're crazy men, like they're all fist fights, running off stage, like yelling at each other on stage, that kind of thing. And then they did the second album, What's the Story, Morning Glory, and I think like around this time, like Liam was being so erratic that it would be like he wouldn't show up and Noel would sing the show.
Wow.
You know, that kind of thing.
He actually, like, they went to the U.S. and Liam just didn't come.
Oh.
Yeah, he was
Oh
like,
my
"Fuck
God.
you, Americans, mate!" Like, this is real. Like, I think he was like real. Like, Liam was really, really young when he joined the band, and
Yeah, he was
really
like 20 or
erratic,
21.
and yeah.
Damn.
He never. I probably never had a job besides being a superstar
Yeah.
rock star.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
That's so crazy.
yeah.
Basically, like Noel sings, I don't know, 2 songs probably on this album, and he started singing more, but then Liam started writing more, so it was like they kind of found the middle ground. But yeah, then I mean, there in that documentary, there's like crazy fights. Like he says he hit him in the face with a cricket bat. Like while they were recording,
shit,
it's like
it's
truly crazy stuff.
So British.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But you don't even have those.
Yeah,
in the
they
States.
don't have one here. Yeah. And then I don't know. I mean, I think after What's the Story, their kind of critical and commercial popularity started to wane, and then I don't know. In 2009, they broke up, right?
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah, over like they I think they had like some stadium show booked, and then like something happened. You know, I heard like someone smashed someone's guitar, and Noel just like left the show and was like, "I'm out of the band."
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, dramatic. Until
Until
1 month ago, they're
Yeah.
back now.
I can't believe it took them like that long until 2009. Like if they were like so incompatible
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
it was
or
like 15 years
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
They seem to be very savvy, like with the media and like how they portray their relationship
agree.
with one another.
Huh.
Yeah.
Seems almost calculated in a way, but
I agree.
yeah. But I don't know. I think they genuinely did hate each other for a long time,
Yeah.
and them coming back was awesome.
What do we know? Like, sort of what sparked the reunion, or do
Money. No, I'm just kidding.
Noel had a divorce.
That is like highly, yeah.
I think he had to give up like $20 million. I sound like a
Shit.
tabloid right now.
we
But
have? Yeah.
Is that true? So,
Yeah.
there's some.
I mean,
There's like the like famous like British tabloids. They're all like, it's like, oh, Noel's getting a divorce. Like they're gonna have to reunite, and then it did happen. So we're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Like, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't know. I kind of watching the story. It seemed like there was this like antagonism between like Liam, like they both wanted to be as good as each other at like their 2 like very distinct disciplines. So it almost feels like they had to be apart for a while to like now Liam has written his own music that's like people really like, and then Noel's been like the front man, like the face of the thing. So I don't know. It seems like they're less like there's less tension. And then they're also like, I mean, I think they're like 55 or something like that. So it's like, how mad could you be?
They
Yeah.
have frontal lobes now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, it's funny too in like the UK. Like Noel wrote all of the iconic shit on the
Yeah.
first 1 and 2 albums, and then in the past few years, Liam has been just going out and doing those, and he's like way more popular than his brother. People just think he's like the coolest in the UK.
Yeah.
So like he'll just sell out like massive arenas.
Oh, yeah,
Whereas his brother who wrote all of it can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Liam did the Definitely Maybe 30th anniversary this year, I think. And it was like, it seemed like it was like a big spike in popularity. Whereas like,
Oh.
I think, you know, seeing like their respective solo projects, people were kind of like, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. And probably, I mean, they sold out some really big venues. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, we didn't listen to Oasis like a year ago, and now it's
Right.
like Soldier Field, so about 20 minutes. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought they always were kind of like this huge, right?
I truly, beyond again the singles, like was not on my personal radar. So I feel like I was getting kind of like what you all are saying, like this pretty sudden recent messaging
No,
about
for sure.
the band.
I feel like they could have never sold out Soldier Field in America, like
yeah,
as of
Yeah.
until like as of the past few years.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that like my interest in them is part of like a calculated marketing. Like I think they've been like
Absolutely.
like they've been pushing, like TikTok is like a lot of Oasis stuff, and I'm like, oh okay, I get it now. Like
An Oasis TikTok dance.
And I think the
be
90s are
hilarious.
just kind of coming back right now
Oh,
anyways.
that's a good point.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as like, fashion and music and whatever. Everything's on a 20-year
It's cyclical,
cycle.
yeah.
yeah.
Fascinating. There's something almost like kind of the reality TV about all of it. It just
Yeah.
feels almost like
for sure. Yeah.
too good of a storyline.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real, but like hearing it in that sort of succinct way is like, God, who could have wrote this? Like, it's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, when I found out, it's like, okay, Liam, like Noel does everything, and Liam, it's like really they're like that
Yeah.
opposite, And then I think they're really good at. I mean, Liam's Twitter is like very, very like a popular, like he's crazy,
Oh,
and I feel like they're just good at like keeping their names in the headlines and like they've been teasing reunions. I feel like for like every 5 years for
they're
15,
literally like the Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
They're, yeah.
The Real Housewives of Manchester.
Yeah. Jinx.
Wow. It's like Liam making tea for himself. Yeah. I think that's a succinct explanation.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I feel more educated now.
Yeah, that's great context
And-
for like this record 29 years ago and today.
And now I feel better going into this record. Shall we jump into the abyss together?
Let's do it.
I like that it greets you.
Yes.
Not a lot
Yes.
of records
I
greet
didn't
you.
know about that too.
Yeah.
Kind of like, hello. You feel pretty welcome into it.
So
Yeah.
sweet.
Something I like about them is like it's very like they're fairly recent in terms of like I'm always listening to like the 60s, that kind of thing. So it's like this is very like CD formatted, so it's like it has like these intros and interludes and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Versus like everything's released digitally now and optimized for that. So I'm like I kind of like this like we were saying, like having the physical CD that is sitting on the table in front of us.
Yeah. I listened. I did. I don't usually do this, but I did all my notes for this episode from the CD.
Oh,
that's
hell
great.
yeah.
Because there's like a certain, and tell me if these are the right words, but there's like compactness to the sound on a CD. There's
I believe it.
There's
Yeah.
like a compression. That's probably the word.
Yeah,
where,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's all very the same loudness, and it's all.
Yeah.
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 Which is how their music sounds to me for sure.
Yeah.
Like now I feel like everything's kind of like hi-fi ASMR.
Absolutely.
The spectrum is so wide and Oasis is like narrow, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, yeah.
yeah.
The CD's like so like loud and oomphy and
Yes.
like the kick drum on all these songs sounds huge and
Except at the very, very beginning of this first track, where they do like a Wonderwall jump scare.
and you turn your volume all the way up to make sure it's playing.
Your CD, yeah.
And then the song starts like way too loud.
I did that like when I was listening in my AirPods, just like on my phone. I was like, wait, is this Wonderwall? And I turned it up because it's mixed so quietly just from the jump. And then bam, like it gets super loud.
Yeah.
And I've about shit my pants.
I appreciate that. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's interesting. I was thinking about like, was Wonderwall so big already that they were like, all right, let's fake them out
Yeah.
by the time the album, like,
Oh.
or was that, had that already been decided? I don't know, but it's interesting.
I think that's a
about
great
stuff like that
question.
a lot.
Yeah.
I think they were fully aware that like the quietness did make the listener like turn it up a little louder.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This was a track originally on that or didn't make its way to rather definitely maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool that
Hello.
they kept it for the first song on the next record.
Yeah.
They're like, we've been holding on to this one, guys. Come on, let's
Yeah.
right at the jump.
I love Hello. It's just like, yeah, like it really does like greet you well, and it's like it's fun. As it we're good, or what is it? It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
It's nice.
good sophomore record vibes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Psych.
Yeah, I like that. It's like, oh, you bought this for Wonderwall? Well, you're gonna be stuck with this.
It's very swampy.
Yeah.
They have a song on here called Swamp Song too. It's where it says untitled. The instrumental.
It's so like quintessential, it's immediately about the weather.
Yeah.
And like I like that he says nobody ever measures the weather to make or break your day. But like
Yeah.
so many Oasis songs like use like the clouds and it won't shine.
Yeah.
And that's like the indicator. But it sets the stage really well for all of the
There's a lot of
meteorological-
lyrics by them where like I feel like if it was sung by an American singer, you'd be like, I'm not buying this. This is lame.
It needs the accent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs
Yeah.
the swagger and he's the British accent.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Liam's voice is just like it's just so simply like amazing sounding and
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's like a little
Emotive.
bit of a rudeness to it.
Yes.
Like a
Yeah.
British rudeness.
Yeah.
That adds a delicious bit of flavor, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's the same reason why, cut to like 2012 or whatever, a lot of us Tumblr veterans were like getting into like the Arctic Monkeys,
Yes.
you know? There's
Yeah.
sort of that like very pronounced
Yeah.
sort of Liverpool vibe.
Yeah, I feel like the Arctic Monkeys and Oasis kind of have like a little thing, and I think both Gallagher's are like Oasis or Arctic Monkeys are cool. Like,
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
because they famously like to talk a lot of shit about a lot of bands.
Yeah.
but they're like Alex Turner, like he's right, you know.
They're kind of like the
That makes me happy.
the
Yeah.
Azalea Banks of Britpop. Do you know about Azalea Banks' Twitter? It's probably pretty similar to Liam Gallagher, but
I don't know about it.
a rap artist, Azalea Banks,
Yeah.
controversial figure, of course,
Mhm.
but will also kind of like talk a lot of shit or like give hot takes about like the pop girlies and like
Yeah.
other rap artists
Yeah.
and stuff. I think it's hilarious when artists do that. And
Who's the Arctic Monkeys main singer?
Alex Turner.
I did hear Noel say that he'd rather drink petrol from the nozzle than listen to an interview with.
Okay, maybe I misspoke. That.
No, I'm sure they like the music.
Yeah.
yeah.
They always have something to say.
Yeah.
Petrol from the nozzles.
Petrol.
A lyricist.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so good. Let me think. Oh, I also had. Wait, okay, so that's interesting that you said that this song was from the first album because I was very much like it's good to be back is the line, and then like the life I knew comes to my house and says hello, hello, it's good to be back. And so I was like, oh wow, is this because I feel like they went from like Pat was saying, never having a job or like they were kind of like poor working class people to like instant like most famous people in England.
Wow.
So I don't know. I figured like I was looking for themes of like whiplash into like this like that's also something I think is so interesting is like about Oasis is that they were mega wealthy and like because now like rock bands you don't really get like you don't make money really
Right.
anymore but they were sold like
but in the 90s you could when
yeah.
you were
Yeah.
I was like that's inspired
Yeah.
like,
They got in on the last of that.
yeah yeah like
like
okay.
a CD was $20 in 1980.
Yeah.
So what was $20 after inflation,
Oh,
right?
Oh.
Like
yeah.
I think that record sold like 22 million.
yeah,
Right.
outrageous.
Yeah.
It sold 345,000 records in the first week.
My
That is
God.
so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if we had 345,000 streams on a song, I'd be like, I did it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, from Spotify, like, do you know roughly, like, what that payout would
Oh,
be?
God.
It'd be like,
I don't know,
don't know.
$300 maybe.
yeah, maybe
I
a nice
actually
dinner.
don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably less.
I've heard 1 million plays if like you own everything is like 3 or 4 grand.
Okay.
That's
Which is like-
outrageous.
It's like 3%.
Which is, yeah.
I'm not sure if that's true either. but
Yeah.
well,
That
so,
kind of sounds right. Yeah.
yeah. That's if you own everything.
yeah,
Right, right.
in the algorithm for Spotify, it's like not necessarily the number of plays, it's like your share of the total plays. So because
Ooh.
Taylor Swift has like such a large
Yeah.
share, she gets more per play.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a weird
It's like a
algorithm.
sliding. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we live in hell, is
Yeah,
what you're
so
saying.
it's
Okay.
the worst.
For sure.
Yeah, that's like if you're like a top artist, that's what you get paid. But if you,
Yeah.
we were getting
Damn.
less than that actually.
Mm.
We've gotten, I think we've actually gotten like $25 over our whole like thing.
That's more than we don't get paid at all from Spotify, but we also don't have the streams to. Yeah. My God.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's okay. We roll with it.
We roll with it.
Yeah.
What was it?
Track number 2.
I like this one.
Me too.
I
too. I love
again,
this one.
I didn't come into this album like knowing it super well. Again, I knew the singles. Maybe this was this a single or no?
Yes.
It was?
Yes.
Because I felt like I had heard this one before.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just so like classically kind of like alt rock vibes where I was like, well, yes, of course.
Yeah. Wait, okay, this was like a really famous, this is the Battle of Britpop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
With Blur.
Great. Yeah.
Tell
yeah,
me
yeah.
everything.
So, I mean, I don't know the origins of their beef. I feel like it was like some level, some like Brit award, you know,
Yeah.
where like Oasis just showed up and like, I think Blur was kind of like, oh, hey, you know, we love your thing. And they were kind of just like, fuck you guys. like we heard your album. It sucks. It's just
my
crazy.
God.
So crazy. But then I think it was also like a marketing ploy between them to be like, oh, it's the battle. Cause I feel like it's very like Stones versus Beatles.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is the new version of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit of like a class thing too. Like
Mm.
Blur was
Oh, yeah.
like the art kids and
Yeah, from London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Who had a thing with that too, right? With someone else. And
Bit Polish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a thing, I guess, that happens.
I was kind of thinking about that earlier, like, because I feel like Oasis, they love the Beatles, of course. And then they also like the Who because they're kind of that, like, rough and tumble UK guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I was trying to think of, like, do they like Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin? Like, they kind of never talk about those bands.
Not that
Yeah,
I
it
saw.
sounds like that they were like pretty into the British stuff,
Yeah.
They're
which
very
makes sense.
nationalist.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like those were all great stuff coming out of Britain those years.
Yeah.
So it's like
exactly. And it's kind of, I like, well, like, from knowing Wonderwall and Champagne Supernova, I thought they were kind of like a Coldplay in that space.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I listened, I was like, this is like some Sex Pistols, like, this is heavy. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And Roll With It, like, is it's a
Totally.
hard rocking song.
Yeah. Dare I say, a bit of a headbanger.
Oh, yeah.
Just a
for sure.
touch, which I would not do to Coldplay.
No,
The
no.
Coldplay comparison is so good, actually.
Yeah,
I was
I feel like I found that at the same, it's
Yeah.
like Yellow and Wonderwall. Like,
Yes.
yeah, both are kind
Literally.
of like these pop rocky anthems.
Yeah,
Mhm.
stadium level stuff.
yeah, put your lighters up. Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Top of the Pops?
No.
Loosely.
It's like a British radio, like television
Yes.
program. It's like epic there. Apparently, it's been like a long
Oh, yeah.
institution. I think when they released this single, "Roll With It," so when you do Top of the Pops, you have to mime.
Mm.
So you're not actually playing.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And so Liam and Noel
It's like a TV
switched.
show.
They
Okay.
switched and just mimed. So, just to like be like, "Fuck you, we're not gonna."
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, you want, no, we're not gonna. Yeah, and I feel like there's just like so much stuff like that I really appreciate about that. They're just like
Totally.
it's like so relatable. Like, oh, you want me to do this? Like, fuck that. I'm gonna
Right.
do what the opposite of that.
Yeah. And then here we are 20 years later talking about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
at the time it's like, meh, whatever. Meh. But then it's like, wait,
Wait, this is a
kind of
perfect,
legendary.
Like, okay, I have this line from Roll With It. You gotta say what you say. Don't let anybody get in your way. And I feel like that's like we're like all getting at that. Like
Mhm.
they're just like, why would I mince words? Like I'm gonna say like your album sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna equate your interview to drinking petrol oil.
That's so clever. Like it's so clever. And I feel like that's also allowed. Like Twitter was like perfect for those guys because it's just like quippy. Like
Yes.
people always say that like Oasis is like a Beatles ripoff, which I disagree with.
Uh-huh. I think so too.
Yeah, it's like they outwardly are. They're like, can you come with me on my yellow submarine? Like they talk about the Beatles a lot, but their music doesn't sound that much like Beatles. Many times.
Yeah.
But I thought that the chorus of "Roll With It" is kind of like I could see it being a John Lennon song.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say there are like hints and flavors.
I don't think
Yeah.
they're like a Beatles ripoff any more than like any other
Any
rock
other band.
music.
Right.
Is
Right.
also kind of
Right.
like Beatles rock
like if
music.
if you look, it's like the Beatles and one of those. Yeah.
The closer to the Beatles, the better.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, and like I think in the technology of it, like I can listen to every Beatles song I want right now.
Yeah.
But like then it was like, oh, this kind of sounds like the Beatles. Like I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of speaking of like, you gotta say what you say. I have a quote from Noel about this song where he called it as such. He said, "It's just great, mindless, senseless pop music." And I was like, I like that.
It's a poppy
Yeah.
chorus.
yeah.
It's cool to hear like a pop song with all like electric instrumentation.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's heavy. Yeah, I appreciate that about them. Is like I think a lot of their. I mean, we're about to get into Wonderwall and Don't Look Back in Anger, but like they talk about those songs and like people. It's one of those where people come up to them and they're like, "Oh, this song means X, Y, Z to me."
Yeah.
And Noel's like, "That's crazy. Like I don't know what it's about, But like,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Like he was just like, I just like it because it sounds good.
Yeah.
Like that is refreshing.
Totally.
Yeah. If
Well-
it's not broke, don't fix it.
I mean, now that we've said it. Anyway, here's Wonderwall? Question mark?
Wait, I need a fresh beer for Wonderwall.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's so good.
I mean, it's a classic for a reason. Well, let's chat about it before we listen to the whole damn song.
Yeah, do you guys remember the first time you heard Wonderwall?
Oh, that's a great question. We've been on a kick on this show of talking about like really iconic songs.
Yeah.
I
right?
definitely don't remember the first time.
It was probably on the radio for
Yeah.
me.
I think I got it on LimeWire or something. Like I remember, or maybe like a burnt CD or something. But I remember like making my AIM like profile or away message like backbeat. The word is on the street. That's the part.
Wow.
Yeah, as like probably a sixth grader, and I was like, this is sick. And then I never.
Yeah.
It took me 20 years
To
to
really fill
really
into it
dive
again.
back in.
Damn fucking poser. I just remember it being like a huge like Tumblr sort of meme when I was playing in that space
Oh,
in like
that's funny.
2011, 2012.
I
and
think it's the
such.
most streamed song from the 90s.
Really?
I think so.
I
yeah.
believe it.
I
Yeah.
mean, per my Spotify open on my computer right now, it's over 2 billion
Yeah.
streams. So
That's crazy.
So
it's
many.
gotta be up there.
I feel like it's like it has to be on the like 90s hits playlist that
Of
probably people just
course,
throw on.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, I was like holding the CD and listening to it, and I was having like this weird realization of like how many other humans have like experienced this record and have thoughts
Whoa.
about it.
Yeah.
And like felt a certain melancholy to that chord progression.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just it's a fall chord progression. This is a good fall record.
Yeah,
It
it is. It really
is.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. Like, okay, so it became like a really big cliche. I
Yeah.
feel like for a long time.
Yeah.
Like the anyway, here's Wonderwall meme is was like so like it kind of like put me off to the song for a while.
Mhm.
But now I'm like all the way back where I actually was like I was working the other day and my girlfriend came in and she I was like and she hugged me and she could just hear that Wonderwall was playing in my headphones and I was like this is, I didn't want you to hear that. I'm like in my room alone, like being like, dude,
That is embarrassing.
It was embarrassing. Yeah. And she like, I mean, I listen to a sickening amount of Oasis right now.
Yeah.
So she's like heard enough, and it was just like the straw that I was like, oh, and all the words that I was like, oh, like yeah, I'm just
Oh
like,
my
I'm gonna call
god.
right now. Yeah,
That's
it was
very funny.
awesome. That was like literally like Friday.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's a good like capital GM girlfriend moment.
Yeah. Yeah, just like, all right, man. You know.
All right, man.
yeah,
Hey,
that's so funny.
Godspeed,
Yeah.
soldier.
I've been pushing the Oasis a little too hard, so I had to take it to the headphones.
I respect that. I respect that.
So I'm assuming the meme started because like people probably did really like a whole bunch of people learned it, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Well, yeah, what I've
Like-
seen is, and I don't play guitar, so maybe someone here can attest to this, but it's a pretty easy song to learn.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
just like a
It's-
lot of people play it.
It's your
Yeah.
like first cowboy chords. It's like your CF.
Cowboy
Yeah.
chords.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like you're open or not open.
Like top of the neck.
Yeah.
Open.
Yeah.
Open.
yeah.
It's yeah. Well, that's also something that's I think is sweet about Oasis is that all their chords are like cowboy chords. It's like it's like G D A minor C is like 50% of the songs. Like,
Yeah.
and I respect it because sometimes like you'll get in too far where it's like, oh my god, I'm this is too similar to that,
Yeah.
and it's like just let them. They'll be different songs once you finish them. So don't let that get in your way.
Yeah,
Don't let anybody get in your way.
Yeah, the Beatles had the same chords too, you know. And
Yeah.
everyone's got the same notes.
Yeah.
But they end up sounding so different, and I feel like that's something as like in our band. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, is this too similar to Wonderwall?
Yeah.
And then, but Modern Dairy is not Oasis, so like by the
Right.
time we do our thing to it, it'll sound
It's
so
not
different.
gonna-
And it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
All about context.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's the strum pattern that really makes it sound like
Yeah.
Wonderwall.
Totally.
Versus like Dust in the Wind or something, which is
Yeah,
the same cowboy chords.
Which I think the strumming pattern on this is awesome. Like it's so iconic.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So hard to
Iconic is the
learn
right
when you're
word.
8.5.
When you're printing the chords. Wait, it was Wonderwall, right? That you
Yeah.
printed. That's sick. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And you had to print it off first so you could call your friend and show them that you learned
Just in
Wonderwall.
case we were expecting a call, it couldn't be on the same
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Oh my god.
course.
What's the next
I'm
chord?
turning 30 this year, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like in a vacuum. I mean, I don't know. It has 2 billion plays. We don't need to say like it's actually really good, you know. Like, but I think it's. I love the lyrics. Like they're very like they conjure a lot of images.
Yeah.
While still being kind of like loose, which I think is like one of my favorite things that songwriters do.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like it could be about anything. They're kind of abstract, but then it's specific enough details that I really like draw something from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was also a song too where Noel like was gonna sing it, and he asked Liam, "I'm either singing this one or Don't Look Back in Anger," and Liam chose this song, and I think that shows
I think
right.
that they were like, "Oh, that's gonna be like a big one," and
Yeah.
Liam was like, "Let me get on it."
I'll sing it.
I'll
Yeah.
step up, man.
I think that worked out really well. I mean, duh, but like that was a good decision. Yeah,
Very insightful.
Today.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love his vocals on this are so good.
There's
and
an
then
inflection, yeah.
yeah, and then Noel did the next song, "Don't Look Back in Anger," and I think that worked so well. Like, I mean, I'm sure if it would have been switch, they both would have been great still. But I'm happy with what they did.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We're on a good historical path Oasis.
Yeah. And then my last note on this song is when was it? Maybe in May. We went to Chinatown and we were doing karaoke, and this
Nice.
was like I was like fully Oasis out, and I think they only had a couple songs. And one of them probably was like "Don't Look Back in Anger," which is like 7 minutes long. So and I was
Kind
like,
of a
that would
downer.
be like, yeah.
That's a choice.
So I
at
was like,
karaoke.
I'm doing Wonderwall.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Were people into it?
Kinda, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It was kind of cool. Like I was like, I'm really into this, and everyone else was less into it than me. And I was like, I don't care. I'm so happy right
I'm
now.
having my moment.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next day, I watched an episode of Ted Lasso where they sing Wonderwall at karaoke, and I was like, oh my God, these guys are
Fate.
everywhere.
Fate.
Biblical.
Yeah, it was biblical.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so funny. I want your guys' take on this. I was reading a couple different sections where, like, is this about his girlfriend? He said one time in an interview it was, and then another time he said it's about nothing, and like, I'm just imagining the girl who Wonderwall is written about. Could you imagine the responsibility?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have the biggest britches in the West if Wonderwall was written
To
about
be like
me.
That's
the muse
about
for
me.
Wonderwall.
It's like it's like if I was like Jesse's girl. Or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like
I
that's
would-
so iconic.
I think he
Yeah.
definitely lies and misdirects about what his songs are about.
I think
I
you're
think
I
so
right.
get
too.
that vibe
Yeah.
too.
I've seen a couple of like different artists do that, and I think it's totally
Not
valid.
to say
and
it's
if you
bad.
want
No,
to,
yeah,
Yeah.
not to like
Yeah.
criticize. I think it's funny, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
feel like he kind of veils it because, like, I was listening to it. I was like, this song is specific enough that I do think it's about someone.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think he likes the idea of kind of being like, no, just good tune. You know, like he always says stuff like that. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Or just taking the like Robert Pattinson route.
I was gonna
and just
bring up Rotten
lying,
Pattinson. Yeah,
lying to the press for
Yeah.
fun
because
because
you can.
why not? Yeah,
because it's not illegal.
you have
Yeah.
free will.
I've seen them be like, yeah, we lie to the press all the time. Like he's like, I get asked what Wonderwall's about 100 times. Like, I'm gonna lie sometime.
Yeah,
you know,
just-
like I gotta keep it
Oh
fresh.
yeah, because like
That's so
how
funny.
fucking monotonous must that be?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, why not
Do we know
spice it
if
up?
they still like this song, or is it kind of like a creep situation where they hate it?
No, I don't think so. I
Huh.
think
Yeah.
they like. I think they're still happy to play like the songs that made them huge.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
They seem like they like it's like everyone loves that early Oasis era,
Mm-hmm.
including the band. They're like, yeah, that was the best.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
yeah. Wait.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, I guess they're not like Radiohead where they've reinvented themselves since.
Yeah.
in a
I
good
would
way.
love to see what they've said about Radiohead too.
I would like to see that too.
Probably some pretty awful things.
I
I,
think-
love Radiohead.
Yeah. I'm like certain.
I
that
love
they-
this. I'm
yeah.
gonna go watch so many interviews after this.
I know, me
episode. Just be
too.
like-
Yeah, I think they do it like I think they genuinely will be like, oh yeah, no, I heard that band, they're kind of good, but they're like, oh, everyone wants me to say like, oh, the piss, you know, like so it's like, all right, let me do what I do.
Yeah. I think another good thing about like what made it such a song of what it is like the lyrics are really easily memorable,
Totally.
and he's not doing crazy stuff. You know, he's doing like steps and jumps. So you like anyone can sing it at karaoke, and everyone should at least
Yeah.
once in their life.
Yes.
Sing it in your
I
car.
recommend it.
Sing it at karaoke.
Yeah.
Sing it at Planet Fitness. I don't know.
Yeah.
Screaming Wonderwall at Planet Fitness.
Screaming Wonderwall on the elliptical.
Said maybe.
It's like going hard. Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Popping a blood vessel at Planet Fitness because you're lifting weights to Wonderwall.
Yeah.
You go
And
a
all the
little too
roads of
hard.
the
Man. Yeah, it, like even just like reading the lyrics again does bring me back to like being a kid and hearing it, and like
Absolutely.
Jeff, I think you said it earlier about how all the lyrics have imagery, but not necessarily knowing for sure what they're about.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like to Pat's point, like, I feel like I've been kind of like, and this is why I'm glad we're doing this album, is because I feel like they do things that like modern day so doesn't do. Like this album to me is like big choruses, like iconic lines. And I feel like we're more a little kind of like stream of conscious, like, oh, it's every day, you know, and you can draw this stuff. So I like respect that it's like the fire in your heart is out. Like that's so grandiose, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I would feel like cool saying that, but it's so cool when they say
It's because
it.
they're
Like,
British.
Totally.
The accent lets them say it.
Yeah, the fire in like it's
There's
yeah.
something to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can use the word heart in their lyrics and not be cheesy.
Yeah.
They can use
the
the word
sunshine.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
you need is love.
If you're British,
exactly.
you can do it.
It fits into the like it's like,
We listened to that in the States and we're like, wait.
oh,
There's
they're onto
something to this.
Can you imagine Dave Grohl being like, all you need is love?
I kind of want that.
I bet we could find it.
Find him at karaoke.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to Don't Look Back in Anger?
Yeah.
What is this? My therapy sessions? What is this? My 50 minutes every other week?
I feel like this is the one. Wonderwall is so big, but Don't
Right.
Look Back in Anger, like in my opinion, is like the mega. Like this is the song from this album.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so Wonderwall is really cool, but I feel like the So Sally Can Wait. She know like that chorus is so. It's genuinely biblical. Like,
Yeah.
It's so big, and I feel like I love like. It's just long and like it's just this one really does it for me.
Yeah.
It takes its time. Like,
Yeah.
you really have all the time to soak it all in.
Yeah, and like I don't know. Again, like the imagery of like take me to the place where you go where nobody knows if it's night. Like it just kind of creates these like images that I really enjoy.
I feel similarly. I don't know, Zach, if you saw this when you were preparing your game or not, but like I feel like this would be a really good song in like kind of an indie rom-com.
Oh, sure.
I get very like you're driving in the rain and perhaps you've broken someone's heart.
Yeah.
You're feeling a bit spiteful.
I think definitely maybe it like is a rom com.
Oh,
so
shit.
it's like they're already
Yeah.
kind of in that space.
They're
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that headspace.
Wait, that also just made me think about why they're coming back. I saw that they can sell the rights to their music like in a couple years.
Like Pink Floyd just did.
Yes, yes.
Which you told like it's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not.
So they're like, all right, let's tour, let's reunite, get this back. So it is. Maybe it's about the money.
Oh my god.
Maybe they've grown as men to accept each other's, best features, or maybe it's about the money. Who knows?
They should sell it and do like an off-Broadway show, or have someone else do an off-Broadway show
Yeah.
about like the
Wonderwall
lore of the
Broadway?
Gallagher,
I'd
Musical,
see it.
yeah. Oh,
the
and
lore
they're
of the
like,
Gallagher
yeah.
brothers.
I would an Oasis play.
Set an Oasis semicolon an Oasis play.
Yes.
I think it's this one.
And I'll executive produce. I'll just say that. Okay, sorry.
Not to railroad off our our Broadway play. We'll write one. Maybe that's the Brucey. I don't know. This is the one that starts with a keyboard riff, right?
Yeah, it's like the Imagine.
Yeah.
riff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like 2 notes shy of it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of a cool little nod. A little Beatles.
It feels intentional.
Yeah, they're
Like, it's so close.
It's so
Yeah.
close. It's like like a 1 to a 4 or something. There's no heaven, right?
Literally.
So I thought it was because like that one's Imagine is so like meaningful and deep, and
Yeah.
so I thought it was a good thing to pull from to write the song "Don't Look Back in Anger" and also be so deep and meaningful.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. This is like I feel like there's from Definitely Maybe is very I kind of consider it like a punk album, and
Sure,
then this
yeah.
one they really like they just expanded so much, and it's very like for Noel, who I think is very kind of like we were saying, like he's very like veiled and kind of like won't explain some things. There are songs like this that are like, man, this guy's like really emotionally like deep, but then
Yeah.
like but only like in his songs, not like in interviews and stuff. He's kind of like a cheeky bloke in interviews.
For sure. For sure. From what I was seeing too, I forget if it specifically applies to this song or not, but I think I was seeing that a lot of lyrics on this album were composed under the influence of like psychedelics or kind of like
Which checks out
tapping
for this one.
into that
Probably more so cocaine.
or cocaine. I mean, we'll get to
I think this
Morning Glory.
albums 1 and 2 were like written together.
Oh, okay.
Kinda, yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit. I mean, I'm sure they made it like amp this one up for more stadium rock
Mhm.
arrangements, but
They
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
out like a year and a month apart, I think.
yeah, very
That's
close
crazy.
together.
Yeah, just like such a quick record cycle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously. It is truly supersonic. I guess this one too, like when I think of just the like UK soccer stadiums, like all saying like "So Sally can wait" like all the time, and I feel like that's kind of why this one seems so massive,
So
to me.
huge.
Whereas I think
Gotcha.
Wonderwall is probably a little bit. I'm sure they do
It's
it.
more of like a bedroom song.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
This is a stadium song.
Yeah, Wonderwall also it's a good headphone. Like it's a good fall headphone walk song.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
I for the first 29 years of my life thought the line was and Silicon Way. Like that was like a name of a street in Britain.
yeah.
But Sally Can Wait
Sally
is the
Can
lyric.
Wait.
I just never knew it till this week.
Yeah. And
Well,
I
did-
saw it was kind of like an Asia by Steely Dan thing where they were like, we just picked a name. Like we just picked
Sally?
a girl name. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Which
Yeah.
I love. I love when people like admit to that. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Pick
I-
something.
I think it's probably tricky, like, to put, like, if you're writing a song about someone, to be like, all right, now I'm going to use literally their name. Like,
Yeah.
So it's you got to go with, like, a generic, like, Sally, Jane, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of, like, a little more
And,
classic.
and some names like have a connotation to them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like you got to pick the right random
Yes.
girl name.
like
for
a
song.
Mary versus
Yeah.
a Scarlet.
Yeah,
Yes.
a Mary is way
Like,
it's a
that's
way
your
different song.
teacher.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
yeah. I'm thinking of, like, Sally from Mad Men.
I need
Sally.
to watch Mad
Oh,
Men.
You do.
I do.
Everyone
I do
does.
too.
Everyone does. It's the best. Yeah.
It's one of my biggest crimes.
Same. Same.
Yeah, it's creating a rift in the band.
Oh shit.
Wait.
Okay, Oasis.
Yeah, we need a rift. I think we need some more tension in the band.
Yeah, if you guys break up right now, you can get back together in time for your album release show,
That's
which will help
genius.
sell more tickets.
That would actually be. That is a good. Yeah.
Do you think they'll be like the same hype in 15 years, or more hype, as we hope, in 15 years?
Yeah.
Oh, you might have to wait 15
Inflation.
years.
So 2039,
The Bears will have a new stadium by then, and we can play it.
of course.
Yeah. Do you have access to a cricket bat?
I don't, honestly.
Damn it.
I'm just saying, proven success.
Yeah, we can look around. Wait, okay, and then "So Sally Can Wait" was like a misheard lyric, right, Pat?
I think it was "So Sorry Can Wait" originally.
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah, and then I think like Liam was like, "Are you saying so Sally can wait?"
they can't understand each other's British accents.
yeah, exactly. And then I think it's cool. "So Sorry Can Wait" is way different than
Totally.
Like, So Sally. I think that's like a really cool. I don't know. I guess Sally Can Wait is better, but Sorry Can Wait is just a different vibe.
Way better than
Yeah.
Silicon Way.
Silicon Way, yeah, or Silicon Way. Yeah.
Silicon Way.
I don't. Yeah, did they have silicone by then?
Hey, do you guys mind if I pee?
Not at all. Not at all.
Hey now, we're back. And that's the thing you can say when you're coming back in from a potty break on your podcast. You can say, hey now, we're going to do the show again.
I know.
It's
I'll tell
also-
you what.
You know.
Track number 5 on this record. That was awful.
Very commanding.
Thanks.
Just grab the listener by the
Hey.
goddamn throat. Hey, in case he's dozed off during that toilet flush
Well,
noise.
I mean, they kept, like, is it on the CD? Is there an exclamation point?
Let me see.
It's like a hey now.
It is an exclamation
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
The
true.
only,
now.
only punctuation on the whole track listing.
Yeah.
That's intentional.
So, like,
Kind of
they
it's hard.
are exclaiming hey now. It's not like a hey now. That's what the exclamation point does.
yeah. Adds a little panache.
What will it hold for me? What am I gonna do while I'm looking at you? You're standing ignoring me. I thought that I heard someone say now there's no time for running away now.
Rhyming now and now. Classic. I think he rhymes that 3 times, right?
Just the boldness to be like, yeah, whatever, just do it. Like it's
For
fine.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking that. I like the kind of like it's very like head bobby.
Totally.
Like, I hit your ride on the train down. Like it's
Might be my least favorite song on the record, but
yeah.
It's good, though.
consensus. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It feels like I feel it's like I wouldn't feel bad if it wasn't on there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't miss it.
I mean, hard to follow Wonderwall and Don't Look Back in Anger.
True.
Yeah.
It's-
I
yeah.
think like
Maybe that's a
whatever
smart
came
decision.
next.
I think every song on this album is good.
Yeah.
Personally,
Yeah.
Yeah, like any song after those two is gonna
It's
people are gonna
gonna
be like
feel-
it's kind of mid, so they're like let's just burn one. Like,
For
whatever.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. That is pretty much. That's like all I had written about this song is like
Yeah, I didn't have a ton about this one.
Yeah, like
I
they
mean,
have-
I vibed.
yeah.
I'll say
like-
that.
Yeah, no, it's kind of nice.
It's a vibe.
Like yeah, it's in it from the CD point. It's like yeah, I'll just keep grooving through. You
For
know?
sure.
But like I had a note that there's so many amazing B-sides,
Mm.
and I think that Noel has admitted that he's not very good at picking the singles and picking the track listings.
Yeah.
So this song like makes me think of that because there's 5 B-sides that are on like the deluxe edition
Mhm.
that I hate that we're just trashing the song, but that I
No,
probably
yeah.
would have selected to put there before
Sure.
that.
Yeah, no, their B-sides are like legendary. They came out with like a compilation of them.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
master
And,
plan.
and people found it, well, a lot of people found it better than their follow-up album to this,
yeah,
so
which is all the B-sides from the first two.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, they were onto something. They were,
Yeah, it was
they-
like
the-
Noel had like a writing streak.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I again like I think that Noel feels that way too. He's like, oh
Yeah.
man, that was like I was on fire then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their follow up, they were like, yeah, we were just doing mad cocaine, putting like they had like a 96 track mixer, like we filled them up with 96 guitar, just like just ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, that's like that era where he's talking about like buying Bentleys, but he doesn't know how to drive, but he's still like buying $100,000 cars. Like they were in like wearing like those like Beatles fur coats. And stuff. Like they were like, which again like for a lot of my life I would have been like, I don't really fuck with that. But now I'm like, that's kind of sweet. They like were these like working class kids and they just got so famous. They're like, I'm getting a $100,000 coat or what car. Yeah.
Buying a Bentley and not knowing how to drive is like
It's so funny.
kind of iconic.
There's
A
kind of
little
There's
bit.
kind of a song lyric in there too somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, within the context of like, yeah, we all have student loans and medical debt and eat the rich, and yada yada yada. But also, like, there's something kind of cunty about that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh,
I
for
think
sure.
they're both really cunty. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like, really, it's awesome.
Which I like live for. I don't know. It's kind of hilarious.
But they like play both sides though.
Yeah.
Like
That's good.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was a story where they were like in the 90s where Noah was with Billy Corgan of the Pumpkins. And like Billy was showing him his like Ferrari. He's like, I don't give a fuck, mate. It's a car. They like play like the working class, and you
That's
know,
a good
but
point.
they are both pretty cunty.
Yeah, but they've got range. They've got range.
They probably like
They're
still remember
bratty
their
for
roots.
sure.
Yeah. But also like when you sell billions of records.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah. You buy a car you don't know how to drive.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
With no intention of learning to drive, or like it's like something like it showed up and he had forgotten he bought it. You know?
Oh
And he's
my
like,
god.
well, he's like, oh, I meant to get my license, and now he's like in his 50s and he doesn't know how to drive, which is so weird.
That's
God.
so funny.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but also I guess Americans can't comprehend that never learning how to drive.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah,
Right.
that's a
Yeah,
very
Yeah, right,
American
Brendan.
experience.
I'll take
yeah.
the fucking tube.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
the tube.
I feel like I see like a lot of pictures of like Saw and Noel on the tube. He's like,
Oh.
which is like so cool.
I love that.
Yeah,
As a transit warrior.
yeah,
I respect
exactly.
it. I have a question about this next little interlude. Well, okay. Hilariously, I noticed this, Zach, when you brought this over, that on the CD copy, there are two sort of quote unquote unnamed interludes.
Yeah, they're just blank.
On Spotify, they're called the Swamp Song version 1 and version 2, respectively. But on the CD, like you said, they're just blank next to the number. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
untitled.
Yeah.
It's funnier on the CD. It's just like
Oh,
there's just like
I've
no
never,
text.
I've actually never seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost funnier that they like.
And it feels like it's gonna be a full song. It feels like an
Right.
intro. It
That's
doesn't
exactly
feel like
what
an
I'm
interlude.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, why did you put a number on it? Like, you could just sort of have it be either, like you said, the outro of the last song, intro of the next song, but it's like a 44-second interlude.
Yeah. It's like there's like harmonica on it, right?
It's
like-
it's
It's
something.
kind of bluesy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
like
like-
bluesy. They're like leaning
Yeah.
into their like British
They're-
blues
yeah.
roots.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're both different. They're both called the Swamp Song. But yeah, I could just play the full fucking thing. It's
Yeah.
44 seconds.
And this is like the most chops we've gotten from them so far.
Yeah.
I see why they call it Swamp Song now.
Yeah. Do they have swamps in England?
It's kind of Delta-y. It's kind of Delta bluesy. Right?
It's kind of Delta 8.
Delta E.
Delta
like
E-ish.
Delta blues.
Not quite
harmonica.
Delta 9.
Hitting the Delta 9 vape and listening to the Swamp Song and then going, donkey. Why? Yeah, wait. Okay, why do we think it is loosely titled The Swamp Song? I have no
It sounds
fucking
swampy.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
gives, it
I
gives
don't know.
swamp,
It
which I've
like-
never said before.
It's giving cattails. It's giving
Yeah.
marsh.
Boggy.
Yeah.
Bog.
Like the same reason like CCR is a little swampy.
Sure.
Exactly.
Like I don't know, Southern Rocky maybe. Was that right?
I think so,
Am
yeah.
I correct in saying that?
Did you ever see my like shirt when I worked at Collectivo, the coffee company?
No.
They're called Collectivo Coffee Roasters, and I had like a shirt from them that said CCR on it.
Oh, that's funny.
And I swear to God, at least once a shift, I would be up at the register or whatever.
Are
and
you
someone-
John Fogerty?
Someone would be like, "Oh yeah, Creedence Clearwater Revival," and I would
Yeah,
say, "Where are we right now? Do you want room for cream?"
Yeah, like coffee
My-
drinks called like Bad Moon Rising. And then,
Hilarious.
A CCR pod. Yeah. Coffee shop.
Classic.
but before we move on from this cool interlude, did you guys catch the little weird thing at the end of it?
No.
I saw it on Genius.
I saw it on Genius.com too. But if you let's play the end first and then tell.
Yeah, I don't think I know this.
I'll give us like a good 15 seconds because I forget where
It
specifically
goes hard. It
is.
goes really hard.
Yeah. So that do you want to sell it?
Some satanic backwards.
So that little like bloop bloop is like a really messed up like reverbed and backwards and Genius.com annotates it backwards. It's so funny. Like
Yeah.
it's saying fucking hell, right?
Well, I don't think it said fucking hell. I think it said fucking hell.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah.
And then they
Fucking hell.
just did it backwards and put it in.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Like, well, again, like a little like punkish, like
Yeah.
juvenile. Yeah, let's have it say fucking hell.
Yeah.
But backwards, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's like the rumor that like if you play whatever song backwards, it looks like a
Yes.
devil.
I think
There-
it's Stairway
like
to
a vibe.
Heaven, right?
Stairway. Is that? Yeah,
I think I might be wrong, but I think
Yeah.
that's the.
I do.
close.
Yeah, that's like the most famous one.
I feel like there are a million songs like that where
Yeah.
it's like if you play it backwards, it's
Yeah.
a sacrifice
Yeah.
or
It
whatever the
says
fuck.
Paul is dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
We should listen to that backwards and see if we can discern it.
Oh, I wish I could do
I'm
that
sorry,
on
yeah, yeah.
the Spotify desktop app.
Hold on,
Cam,
let
can
me-
you add that to the
Let me-
edit, please?
we got the CD. I'll just like spin the CD the other way.
Put it upside down. Yeah.
having a CD in like the little CD player and going is hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Swamp Song.
Swamp
I'm in.
Song.
I'm in.
I'm
I'm
in on
vibing.
Swamp
I think I
Song.
was out on it for a while, but I'm in.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm perfectly happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a 5-minute version of the Swamp Song too.
Oh, with
Oh,
lyrics?
Catch that.
Does it contain both parts?
No lyrics. It's just, it's both.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Sick.
I don't know how long the ones in this album are, but
I feel like I can relate to the Swamp Song as well. Being in a band, like there are just times when we make songs and we never add lyrics, but we're like, yeah, dude, the sick. Should we play the sick one?
With
You
the
know, it's like
harmonica.
that's like really hard, you know? Yeah, or like it's like the warm up jam kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I've been watching one of their live videos lately, and they like come out to Swamp Song, and like I'm
Sick.
like, oh, this is like badass, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, yeah.
slay. So
All
it
right.
like serves a purpose.
Yeah.
So now I'm a little more
Not-
pro Swamp Song.
Pro Swamp.
Okay,
Yeah.
slay.
Yeah,
I wonder-
some might say that.
Some
Some might say. Okay.
Some might say I'm pro Swamp Song.
Zach, yeah, I know which way he leans.
Yeah, that seems like a partisan issue. I had a pretty profound experience listening to the intro of Some Might Say because it reminded me of a very gay piece of media. Just to like tell you who I am as a person. Okay, I'm gonna play the intro of Some Might Say, and then I'm gonna play something else, and I'll tell you what it is. So we're coming in. It reminded me so instantaneously of this little ditty from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
oh wow.
Just that same kind of like blues shuffle.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like it.
And maybe just 'tis the season. I mean, it's October. It was just I was like getting coffee and listening to this and like doing my notes, and I was like,
Yeah.
like
I've heard
that's
this,
so
yeah.
Raven.
They're
like,
known to rip off music from obscure sources too.
Oh.
Or
so-
and mainstream sources.
Yeah.
They got sued by Coke for the like I'd like to buy the world a
Oh,
Coke.
shit.
That like really famous commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, they totally ripped it off. And it's sick, you know, but
Hell yeah.
Like I think even like Hey Now kind of sounds like it, but it was one of the songs on their first album. I'm spacing on it.
Bang a Gong, T-Rex.
Yeah.
All this to say, because of that connection, I quite enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's just a vibe.
Yeah, we're at a part in the record like we want kind of something a little upbeat, kind of fast paced.
Yeah.
We want a guitar solo, you know.
We want a coffee with dessert, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just looking at the back. The back half is, it's just a great album front to back, but the back half is like really strong.
For
and
sure.
some of my favorite stuff. Like, yeah, I think some might say is maybe my favorite. I don't know. Yeah.
Dang.
I'm looking at my notes now, and apparently this was the lead single for this album.
Oh.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about that it wasn't Wonderwall.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Or Champagne Supernova.
Yeah, or Champagne. Like,
Oh,
I've
wait.
been waiting to get to Champagne Supernova.
No, can you believe it's last? Spoilers.
Wait, they did. Okay, yeah, I have this. They did 6 singles for this album,
Oh,
which is
fuck.
crazy.
Which is how bands
That's
release
more
music
than
now.
I knew.
yeah, exactly. It was ahead
There's
of
basically 10 songs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
2 of them are interludes. There's
Yeah.
only 10 songs.
60% singles.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Some might say it was the lead, and then Roll With It, then Morning Glory, and then like I feel like Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger, Champagne Supernova is like those mega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
I was kind of thinking about the release of those singles. Like the order of it is kind of interesting,
Mhm.
but maybe coming off of like a more punk album, they were like, let's ease into this because they kind of went to the big chorus stadium rock on this
Yeah.
album. That was kind of what I was thinking.
That tracks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think one of their most popular lyrics is like "shine," which is a random word.
Yeah.
But they have this like it's like go and tell it to the man who cannot shine in the first verse, and then later they say tell it to the man who lives in hell. And so I was like, it's so telling that it's like, oh, if I'm not like shining and in the spotlight, like I might as like it kind of equates it to being in hell.
Totally.
Which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, and there was like a moodiness to it too that made me kind of chuckle. Some may say sunshine follows thunder. Go and tell it to the man who can't shine.
Yeah.
Like it's so emo.
Yeah, it is totally emo, and they like twist it on you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, all right, sunshine typically follows thunder. It's like, oh really? Not
It's
for
like,
everyone.
What if I can't
Yeah.
possibly experience that?
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. Which I don't know. I think at first I was a little bit like, oh, this is a little, it's like songs about the weather.
For sure.
But then now I'm more like into it, and it's
Yeah, I love the lyrics of this one.
Yeah.
You've made no preparation for my reputation once again.
Yes,
That's so
yes.
good. Yeah. Or yeah, I have a overflowing gently, but it's all elementary, my friend. Is like
Delicious.
so British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's elementary Watson. I love that. Yeah. No, the song's cool. It both like it rips hard, but then it has the like more kind of like sentimental lyrics that I appreciate.
For sure. There's a softness here. Or there's like dare I say a bit poetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm into.
Yeah.
Okay, it earned the single.
Yeah, lead
Yeah.
single.
Yeah.
I'm just realizing now, is there a correlation between the man who can't shine and casting no shadow?
Oh my god.
That sounds
You
right.
gotta get the second low.
We need a vine boom.
That is like it's I've like all the way through it's all like these weathery references.
Yeah.
And I feel like like at first I was a little bit out on it, but I like the language of the album and like the way it kind of blends.
Totally. It adds sort of a continuity to it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, we see this is kind of coming from the same POV like the whole time. There's an anchor.
Liam Gallagher POV. So it's just someone driving your Mercedes.
He's like sitting on the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Cast No Shadow is cool though.
Cast No
like,
Shadow is cool.
coming from the very punk, definitely maybe. I thought even Wonderwall and Champagne Supernova, like they're kind of like ballads, but I thought Cast No Shadow is more vulnerable and like
Totally.
sensitive, like, and it's kind of dark. And I thought that was like a really just something I really liked about the song.
Yeah.
The orchestration's like up front too.
Yeah.
You know, it's yeah.
Yeah. It's like simplified to kind of focus on the words.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a thought for every man who tries to understand what is in his hands. He walks along the open road of love and life, surviving if we can. Surviving if we can.
It's very nice.
I love their harmonies too.
Yeah.
Blood harmonies. Two brothers.
Blood Harmony, yeah.
In that documentary, they definitely like kind of that's like what it's like. It's only two brothers could do what they did. You know, like, kind of
They,
has
like,
that
lean
thing.
into it.
Like,
I
Like Boondock
live.
Saints.
Yeah.
Pat, how do you feel about? I think his name's Anthony. I don't have his last name. The drummer. How do you feel like his choices?
Oh,
like,
Alan White.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
His choice. That's a great question.
yeah.
I was just talking to Geoff about this. Like on Wonderwall, it kind of sounds like a funky drummer type thing.
Uh-huh.
I think it's kind of awkward at some points.
Oh,
Like I like it. Like I don't know, it fits, but like even with it, it's like
Maybe you would probably do it differently.
yeah, or I don't know. It's just does this drumming fit this song? It's kind of weird. I don't know.
I thought about him a lot in the context of Ringo and how people shit on Ringo, but he you've never like
I love Ringo. Yeah,
yeah, but you've never heard Ringo play and like been like, oh, he's playing wrong for the song. You know?
yeah.
And where in this case he's like pretty busy in a lot of sections.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
a
I
slower
agree.
one, and we get
Yeah.
some fills, and I bet they're great in like a stadium.
Yeah.
Like the huge, perfectly tuned toms and stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's like I don't find it bad, but I think the drummer for the first record was like perfect for that, but couldn't have done the second one.
Yeah.
And then he was good for the second one, but I don't know. It's
And did they
Oasis drummers are weird.
Yeah.
like how did Alan White he played the drums on Morning Glory, and then like did they fire him like right after it?
No,
too,
he
or-
played till like
Okay.
2000. Ringo Starr's son actually drummed
Oh.
for them till at the end.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was Alan White for like a
Till
considerable
like
amount of
05,
time.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 10 more years.
Yeah. This song is about the lead singer of The Verve.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. I don't know exactly, like I think The Verve, maybe they're from Manchester, or at least like I think they toured together, so they were like I think they're pretty tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only know Bittersweet Symphony.
Same.
Same.
Yeah.
I've heard they're
Maybe
great though.
they're, like-
I haven't delved deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps
very
it's
same.
like a Wonderwall situation with The Verve.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
We'll check
exactly.
in next year and see
Next
how
year.
y'all are.
when the verb comes back for the reunion tour.
The 30th anniversary.
I don't think it'll
Bittersweet
slap as
Symphony.
hard.
Yeah.
But to broaden it a bit, it was sort of I saw touching on just like a guy who writes songs and sort of the
Yeah.
feelings that might accompany that.
Yeah.
Where it's like what's the lyric? It's like held down by the weight of his words or
Oh, yeah.
something. Like
The
really
weight of all the
beautiful.
words
Yeah.
he never said or something like
Yes,
that.
yeah. And it's just like you said, like very vulnerable.
Yes.
And
yeah.
it, like kind of beatnik in a
Yeah.
way that I'm not mad about.
Yeah. The first time I think it kind of like got into my head, I definitely thought it was like very vulnerable and autobiographical.
Yeah.
Which I was like, wow, this is like very. And then to hear that it's about like he's like he always like dedicates it to him. Like it's like he wrote it for his friend. I feel like that's an even more like intimate thing to do.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
very
And Noel
sweet.
said it's like he said these are his favorite lyrics that he wrote.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
They're,
fuck with
they're
that.
really good.
they sound like Bob Dylan lyrics, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm with all the wind.
Yeah.
To say.
Chained to all the places that he never meant to stay.
Wow.
Ooh, heavy.
This is a great example of a like sometimes a song title shouldn't be like the most important line in the song, but sometimes it should.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And this is a good example of that, I think.
yeah.
It makes me think of like the flight of Icarus and like the song.
Yeah.
Like it's like the opposite of that. I guess it's like he has so little impact on the world he doesn't even have a shadow. That's how I interpreted it.
No, I see it. I see
Yeah,
it.
Man Without a Shadow.
But with so
Yeah.
much weight, so much internal weight.
But then I was wondering if it's like the shadow like Carl Jung thing, like oh it's like his shadow side, or if he's only one sided and there's no darks. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm still
that's
working.
interesting.
I'm still working on this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I think Jung would say like we all have a shadow.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
But Noel,
but Noel's like
disagrees.
maybe is Young British? No.
I don't know.
He gives German vibes,
Yeah, I was
but I'm
gonna
just
say.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
German.
I'm just shooting out of my butt. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
I just thought
Hilarious that we go from this song into She's Electric.
I love
Yeah,
that.
this is like
Hilarious.
the lightest song probably.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a fun little ditty.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
it
was
is.
vibing on
It's
it.
given like Foxy Lady vibes, right?
It's giving
Yeah.
Foxy Lady.
Yeah,
It's like, this girl's cool. She's got a crazy fucking family.
yeah.
Okay. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was hanging out. It's very catchy. This was the one I found myself sort of humming after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, this song rules.
Yeah.
It was like the easiest after like the big few singles. Like this was, I was like, oh, I like this.
Totally.
It's very like contemporary indie sounding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
totally.
good point. It does feel like it could come out in like 2004.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Yeah.
You got that "Well, My Guitar Gently Weeps" chorus.
Oh, yeah.
And I want you.
Yeah,
yeah. This
I
song's pretty
didn't, I
Beatlesy
didn't find
too.
that one. That's so great.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know why. Yeah. No, like to actually tie this back to the Beatles. Like, I remember Paul McCartney said he learned piano playing at like family parties. Like they would just like they would all sit around the piano and like have pints and like he would just play and he would be like, and that's what this song sounds like to me, where he's like at a family party, like she's got a cousin, she's got like a dozen, you know, like
Yeah.
it's very like
Yeah.
that kind of like I don't know, just like saying what you see.
He's just very observational. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It sounds like it's at like this like, you know, campfire party type
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
I like that. I always respond very strongly to a campfire vibe.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sing songy.
I
Mhm.
love
also-
to sing.
It also
songs.
kind of reminded me of the Kinks,
Yeah.
Ooh.
which is another British band who
Yeah.
weren't as big in the U.S. because of visa problems, which I think is a hilarious
Oh.
historical fact.
Interesting.
Like we could be sitting here this whole episode comparing them to the Kinks, but like some visa office.
Two
didn't let
brothers
them-
as well.
Oh yeah. Two brother band.
Raves.
Yeah.
Only two brothers could do it.
Only two brothers.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready for track number 10, Morning Glory?
Let's find out what the
Yeah.
story is.
Let's find out the story. Did you guys
The
see
title track.
what Morning Glory was an innuendo for?
No.
No.
Wait, no. I thought it was like an innocuous.
I thought it was just like
I want to make
Can you
sure
say
like
this
a
on air?
nursery rhyme.
I want to
like,
make sure I'm like understanding this correctly and like that they may have been referencing this or not. Like morning glory is also like an English slang for waking up in the morning with morning wood.
What's the story?
What's the story,
here?
morning boner?
The Pearl Jam
Sorry.
thing is similar.
Well, just hilarious to perhaps picture, you know, waking up that way and going, "Hey, what's the tea, man? Like,
Yeah. What's the story here?
what's up, love?" Like,
Well, I think I also read that it was something that his girlfriend would say to him, be like, "What's the story?"
What's the story,
funny.
morning glow? Yeah. Now I can hear it. Yeah.
I only just knew it like as the whole phrase, and it was so hard when we like knew that this was the pick for me not to Google what's the tea, honeybee. 'Cause that's like what
the
I
modern
say.
version of that.
Yeah. Well, Zach, thank you so much for enlightening us
Yeah.
with that.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
really
I believe it.
appreciate it.
You know, this one has funny lyrics. When you're
Yeah.
chained to the mirror and the razor blade.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's where like the coke of it all
Yeah.
perhaps.
Oh, the coke of it all.
The coke of it all perhaps
Chained.
comes to play.
Chained to the mirror. So that's the first line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I appreciate about them too is they're like really open. They're like, yeah, everyone does drugs in the UK. You know, like they were very much like, they're like, your politicians are doing them. And I think it caused like kind of like a Marilyn Manson here. I think that they were like,
Oh.
these guys are bad for the kids in the UK.
Sure.
Which
sure,
is
sure,
fair.
sure.
Yeah.
Huh,
Yeah.
I never like really thought about that for them, but I guess you're probably right.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
then
yeah,
people
there
were-
was like news stations, like the BBC was like, "Do you really want these het motherfuckers?"
Yeah.
Telling you to do cocaine.
like they were kind of like villainized, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, which again from our like American perspective is funny. It was like, no, they wrote that like acoustic rock.
Yeah, it's like Wonderwall.
They're a
Right.
Dave Matthews type. Yeah,
They're talking about cocaine.
I love this song so much. This song and She's Electric. I feel like we're kind of the two that cracked me into like, all right, I'm liking this band now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this one is really heavy.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I love all the guitar layers.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
the
helicopter. I think I have a note about all the helicopter sounds.
would not want to be on drugs for this.
No.
Yeah, this is pretty intense. It sounds like a war movie.
But again, super modern. Like I could, like if you told me this was the Muse, I'd be
Yeah.
like maybe.
Yeah, a lot of guitar layers on here. It's
Is
very
that the,
loud.
Is that the "This One Goes Out to the One I Love" guitar riff?
Oh yeah,
This
This one goes out. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, he doesn't mind lifting.
I think they had a
piece.
beef with REM too.
Oh,
I think REM wrote a song about them.
that's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is, but like yeah, they have a song with like referencing like. You told the world to say you're supersonic. Oh, I'm sorry, Michael Cyphers is British. I'll
Yeah.
drop it.
Yeah.
Look it up yourself.
If you want to know,
Do your own
Do
research.
research.
Yes.
We should tell people that more.
Just to be like, hey, this thing, go find out for yourself.
No, fucking Google it.
We're just
on your
podcasters.
Figure it out.
Oh God.
Yeah. I don't know. Lyrics are kind of simple on this one. I feel
Totally.
like a lot of Oasis songs, it's just like a verse, bridge, chorus, and then they just repeat that.
Yeah.
Double it, yeah.
Totally.
Why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess.
Super accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we were kind of talking. I think that Noel is an amazing guitar player, but some of his stuff is like pretty basic. But this one, I think he rips really hard on. Like, this is
for
one of his
sure.
heaviest. Like, he put a lot of work into it.
He
it
kind of
sounds like.
cooked.
Yeah, he cooked.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
cooked.
yeah.
Yeah, and the tone is super cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like I love all the distortion we're getting in the layers. And
Yeah.
Put
Yeah.
his,
We're not really like a distortion band. Like we're pretty clean. We keep it pretty clean, but we've been into like Oasis lately and we're like, maybe we should get a little overdrive.
yeah, just a
going.
little bit, not too much.
Yeah.
but-
Get a little
We're
Fuzz.
experimenting with fuzz. Yeah.
Oasis as a gateway to fuzz.
Fuzz, yeah.
Talking about getting dirty.
Swamp Song 2.0.
Swamp Song
Oh.
2.0, Electric Boogaloo. Super different sonically, at least at the front. From the first Swan Song.
Song.
Maybe that's why it's called it.
Oh.
It's a swamp.
It's like a play
song.
on-
It's like
yeah.
the dark underbelly.
Of
Is it
the
our
Swan
swan
song?
song? No, it's our swamp song.
That's kind of funny.
But it starts out with this weird like radio tuney thing, and it kind of
Yeah, I wish I was like behind the door when they were putting the track list together. They're like, all right, we need two 30-second interludes.
Yeah.
Like, why? Yeah, 10-song
Oh
album.
yeah, it starts with the waves. Oh, well, and then this kind of goes into Champagne Supernova.
yeah, it's pretty seamless.
Swampy.
They have, I don't
The
know if they have
waves are
waves in
still
swamps.
there
Yeah.
on Champagne
Yeah.
Supernova.
Huh.
I don't think it's so much more pronounced on these headphones than it
Yeah.
was when I was listening like on my TV or
Yeah.
like in my AirPods or whatever.
Yeah, this song is the best song ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This really does it for me.
We
I
were
mean, here we are.
we were on a record a couple episodes ago, and that it was the Killers. Everything will be all right. Talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
like great closing tracks.
Absolutely.
This is a great closing track.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you just wash away in it,
Yeah.
and you
And
get,
having the closer be such a like big hit too
Yes.
is kind of
Yeah, it's like
I
a
love- I love that,
7-minute
yeah.
anthem. Yeah.
It's like a Hey Jude type
Yeah.
where it's like
Totally.
everyone's everyone's singing along. And that, again, to the CD-ness of this album, like now I always like I'm like, all right, let's put our big grandest song last, and I'm like, I don't know if people will be listening by then. But with a CD, it's like you're waiting for that.
totally.
But they also, I mean, this is also a mega hit, so they were like, we'll get through Swamp Song 1 and 2 to get to Champagne Supernova.
Also, slowly walking down the hall faster than a cannonball. One of my favorite lyrics.
love.
yeah,
Yeah, let me break out the booklet for this.
Please.
yeah, do it.
They also said when they recorded this, he was like, no one had heard it, so he just went in and played it on acoustic guitar,
Oh wow.
which is just the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
And they're like, so what is this? He was like, well, it's a fucking epic.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, do.
Hearing this song as a kid and being like so amazed by the chorus and like the imagery of being
Yeah.
caught in a supernova landslide.
So celestial.
Yeah.
Like just being like basks in the.
Like a complete
Yeah.
destruction
Yeah.
or recreation, I guess.
Oh,
What
yeah.
you were talking about, the supernova. Yeah.
Yeah. Supernova is like when the star explodes. That's where all the elements are made into the gas cloud that then turns into planets and stuff.
Yeah.
So really beautiful in that aspect too.
Just coming up with like a champagne supernova. Like that's so
Yeah, it's so
clever.
good.
Totally.
Yeah. I don't know. I think more like I visualize cosmic. I don't really think about like them popping a bottle.
I
I
visualize
don't really
cosmic as well.
think
Okay.
about-
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, champagne was always like describing the supernova, not
Yeah.
vice versa.
In the
It's-
sky.
It's just
Yeah.
yeah. Additional texture, if anything.
But yeah, do we know what he meant by it? Is there any clue that he falsely gave in an interview one
I
time?
don't think, I
Right.
think that one's...
Right.
I feel like this is
Yeah.
one that's like, yeah, if it means something to you, that's great. Yeah.
Totally. It's just like super psychedelic, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man, whatever you're feeling.
Yeah. This one definitely has like that kind of psychedelic, like how many lives are living strange? You know, like it's like this kind
Yeah.
of like It reminds me of that's like a Eleanor Rigby by the
Yeah.
Beatles line. Like,
How many
yeah.
special people change?
Yeah. Opening a song with how many special people change. Oh, sick. Bold.
Yeah. What a good question.
And then I just like where were you while we were getting high is like such a good. It just like creates such a big story so simply. Like
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, there's so much information in that sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you
totally.
normally would have been there, but yeah. I don't even know where you were. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the 90s, so you couldn't like text them this. You have to ask it
Yeah.
after the fact.
Oh
You
my
got high
God.
and then wondered and then asked your friend where he was.
Yeah.
Hit you up on your pager.
Yeah. How long is it? Like 7 minutes?
Yeah, 7:30.
Yeah. I think
Wow.
this was a single, right? Like they released like a 7.5 minute single.
So I'm realizing I maybe before doing this deep dive only heard like the radio edit or whatever because they
That makes sense,
absolutely
yeah.
played this on my hometown radio station.
Yeah, I feel like probably the last like 3 minutes is like chorus and
Yeah.
just like indulgent solos, which I appreciate. But
Of course.
Yeah.
It's
Probably
the
edit
closer.
out the water at the end.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, there are waves on this. They didn't play that
Yeah, yeah.
on 102.1. I don't know what else to say. Like, here we
Yeah.
are. You
Yeah.
know?
it's like cemented in the greatest songs of all time.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's hard to say things that haven't already been said a million times.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm glad I got to say morning boner earlier.
Yes.
'cause
No one has ever said
no
that.
one's probably said that
Yeah.
in the context
You know,
of,
Champagne Supernova is also an innuendo
Is it?
for a boner.
Also, boner.
Also, those guys are onto something.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Champagne boner. in the sky.
Thank you. We should go on that website that lets you like input slang terms and just add that in.
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary, thank you.
Oh, hilarious. Untapped market for us.
Untapped market for us.
We've done
definitely-
Wikipedia, we've done Genius.
Yeah.
We haven't done Urban Dictionary yet. This could be huge.
This could be huge.
I feel like you need like a UK Urban Dictionary when you're
Yeah.
listening to interviews with them.
Totally.
I'm like that documentary you have to watch with subtitles or you
Sure.
won't be able
I
to
have no
understand
idea.
them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then even then I'm like, what does that mean? Like these, it's not that different, but it
Right.
they just say some stuff that I'm like, that doesn't make any
Spoken
sense.
mingin or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, yeah, you just have to watch a lot
Yeah.
of like British reality TV
Yeah.
to
Get the.
get the gist.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
an abuser, but a user.
That's a great A line. Yeah, maybe like instead of the Osbournes, we should have gotten a Gallagher show.
Oh, that'd have been good.
That would've been good.
Yeah. It's hard to understand Osborne's too.
Yeah.
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 Ozzy in
Yeah.
particular.
Ozzy's nuts.
Sharon, I can track Sharon.
Yeah, she got that posh. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
Ozzy's got his own thing going there.
Talk about a swamp song, my god.
Yeah.
Well, with this, we've made it to the end of the record, my
We
dears.
did it.
Wow.
Good job, guys.
I think it's time to go to the bathroom again for
Mm-hmm.
moi, and I'm just speaking for myself. But we can also talk about a Rabruski for this record.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Let's do it.
Love.
All right. First of all, a couple of Gunnabys shouldn't be presenting Rabruskis to has-beens, but here's the Rabruski for What's the Story, Morning Glory. we're awarding it the realest brats of Manchester, Brabruski, to the bitchiest, cuntiest brothers on that side of the pond.
All the people. Such lovely people.
Congratulations, that's
Amazing.
pretty prestigious.
Wow.
That is a big award.
That's the biggest one we've done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was international. It was supersonic and international.
A supernova, dare
Yeah.
I say.
Supernova, yeah. Oh yeah, supersonic supernova. Nice.
Folks,
Super.
thank you so much for listening to another gorgeous, stunning, beautiful, dramatic, cunty, bitchy episode of Album Rebrews.
Mega biblical.
Mega biblical, legendary. Fuck, I'll use that word. We here are Album Rebrews. We're going to continue to be Album Rebrews, and we'll be Album Rebrews at a live show at the end of this month. This is coming out on the 21st, and we've got a live show on the 27th. Show up at Color Club. Music starts at 7:30. We have a Halloween show. Oh, I can say all the bands. It's
You can
all
say all the
introduced
bands.
now. We've got White Rabbit Object covering Father John Misty. We've got
Truth or Consequences New Mexico covering They Might Be Giants.
Disaster Kid covering Slaughter Beach Dog, and we've got Rana covering The Killers. And it's going to be everything divas show up. If you want more details on that, you can check us out on the internet. We are on Twitter and Instagram, mostly Instagram, at Album Rebrews, and our website is www.albumrebrews.com. XOXO, love you. Mwah.
A big, huge British thank you to our, not just a regular thank you this time, probably.
Thank ya.
Dunk.
To our editor and songwriter extraordinaire, Cameron Bop. Go check out his latest EP, the Pop EP. It's fantastic. A giant thank you to Pat and Geoff for coming on for Modern Dairy. Thank you guys so much
Thanks
for
for
picking
having
a
us.
great
Yeah,
record.
This was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You can go see their music live for their Halloween show on the 31st.
We'll see you there.
You can go to both.
Make a week of it.
They are playing with Damager. You can hear a little bit of Black Sabbath and some Oasis we've heard along the grapevine. Go check them out November 9th at Reggie's, opening up for Chinese American Bear, which is a great band name. I don't know what type of bear that is, but it sounds scary. You can go check them out December 19th for their album release show at Shuba's. You heard it here first, folks. Keep an eye and an ear on their socials for some cool news about that. Anything you guys want to say to the folks at home before we get out of here?
No, just check us out. We appreciate you guys having us. This was really fun.
Yeah, this was fun. Someday you will find us. You know, yeah.
Copping the
Where
landslide.
were you when we were getting high? That's what I would like to ask everyone.
So many questions and so many answers.
DM us with an answer.
Well, with that, we will close out this episode the way we close out every single episode, in the same order that we introduced ourselves. We are going to get very, very, very close to our microphones and say a sweet and tender ASMR style goodbye. I will begin. Goodbye, love.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, mate.